Look at what happens when government gets too big. Watch this.
East Africa, where protests are ongoing in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. Medics there say several people have been shot dead by police. Earlier on, protesters broke through police cordons around the parliament and entered the building. Part of the site was then set on fire. There have been several days of demonstrations across the country. This is all against planned tax increases. The legislation to introduce that was being debated in Parliament today. Tear gas and water cannon was also used by security forces. One notable factor about these demonstrations is that they've been fueled by young people using social media. Rights groups say state agents have abducted 12 people believed to have played a role in promoting the protests online. Our correspondent Barbara Platt-Usher sent us this update a short time ago.
Police have deployed in very large numbers to try and stop the protesters from getting to Parliament. They have set up at different intersections along this main avenue, Kenyatta Avenue, and they've been firing tear gas, colored dye. Protesters have been breaking through, running down the avenue. So it's been very chaotic and fluid from fairly early in the morning. This is, of course, a protest against the proposed taxes that government is trying to pass, something that the government wants to do to pay for its enormous deficit. Something that this generation, Gen Z, have completely protested against. They organized on social media, took the government by surprise, and have been carrying out these demonstrations. Because of these demonstrations, the government has watered down the bill, but that's not enough for these protesters. They're demanding it be scrapped entirely. They're also talking about accountability, about corruption, and how their tax dollars are spent. While all this is going on, you can see the tear gas in the distance. The Parliament is meeting to debate the bill and are expected to pass it with amendments.
Well, our correspondent Mercy Juma is in another part of the capital, Nairobi. She told us what she's been seeing where she is.
The All Saints Cathedral. This is a church, an institution just right outside the central business district. I would say a couple of meters away from where all the main action has been happening today. And I am here because for the better part of the day, there has been a group of medical practitioners who had pitched camp here, and they've been receiving dozens of people who've been injured from the protests. I've seen a couple of people with gunshot wounds and others with other, injuries from the protests. That's what they've been doing here. A couple of people also sheltered here, but about 30 minutes ago, the General Service Unit police officers entered this place and asked everybody to leave, and the medical staff evacuated as well. So no facility here at the moment, and all injured persons are now being taken to the Kenyatta National Referral Hospital. But right outside is a major road leading to the CBD as well. Still a couple of people on the streets, but not as busy as it was probably an hour ago, because again, people have been, tear gas has been lobbed on the protesters, and they've retreated away from the business districts.
Mercy, can you give us a sense of what kind of area of Nairobi these protests cover? Are they very much focused on the Parliament and the CBD, or have they sprawled over the entire city?
So I have been out here since about 9 a.m. and literally all the major streets of the central business district have been covered by protesters. I've covered many protests before, but I've never seen as many protesters as I saw today. There were thousands of them on the streets, and not just near Parliament buildings, but even away. So they started from really far away, and they kept advancing towards Parliament. They kept breaking the barrier that the police had put, pushing the security forces towards Parliament until they managed to get into the Parliament buildings. So they started from really outside the town and moved into town. And just a reminder that this is not happening in Nairobi, even in other major towns in the country, including the president's own backyard, Eldoret town. The same has been witnessed today, people on the streets.
Now, even though I don't advocate for violent protests or even, silent and peaceful protests, simply because people can take that out of whack and you can have another January 6th. I do want to applaud the Kenyans about their coordinated action plans that they have Okay, that's amazing because they understand that it is now the government against the people. Not only has our government been weaponized against us, Kenya's government, they are understanding that Kenya's government, as well as a lot of governments in the world, have been weaponized against the people. The people are waking up and they are letting people know, well, wait a minute, the government is a parasite and we need to limit their stranglehold upon us. We need to limit the government, not limit the people. And that's the way it should be. I am so proud of those that want to stand for liberty and say, listen, if you're going to increase our taxes, we are going to let you know we don't like it. I do believe that happened in another place at another time. Oh, yeah, it was here in America. God bless you guys. Let me know what you think. You take care. This is Proclaim Liberty. Continue to proclaim liberty.